Alright, in the last video I promised you guys some box sets, and here they are. We're going to take a look at them right now. Let's start with the Bond set, I think. Okay, here it is in all its glory. This is the 5-decade celebration Bond set, Bond 50 on Blu-ray. You've probably seen this by now, but I figured I would take a closer look at it just to share my own opinions on these films. Let's open it up. Okay, housed inside this box are these two beautiful digibooks. Very, very nicely done. First you got 62 through 81, that's in silver, and 83 to 2012 in gold. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I actually have Skyfall in here as well. So this is the complete official Bond collection of all the official Bond films, all 23 Bond films that have been released so far. Let's have a look inside. There we go, there's Sean Connery, looking rather japping. Of course, he's the greatest James Bond of them all. No, I don't know. Sean Connery's great, he really set the tone with his films. Dr. No from 62, there's the first one. Very good movie. This is probably my favorite Sean Connery movie overall. From Russia with Love, hadn't seen that before. I saw that recently. A little slow, I must say. There's a lot of traveling in that movie. He travels by train, he travels by car, he travels by every possible vehicle you can imagine. There's more of Sean Connery. Goldfinger. There we go. There's Goldfinger. A lot of people find Goldfinger to be one of the very best Bond films ever made. I think it's very good. I don't think it's quite that good, but I do enjoy it. It is very entertaining. Had seen this before, but I saw it again recently. Thunderball. Thunderball was okay, not the absolute pinnacle of the Bond films in my opinion, but I have seen worse. And here we have George Lazenby, of course. He only played Bond once. And then we're back to Sean Connery straight away. You Only Live Twice, Sean Connery goes to Japan. I enjoyed this a lot, actually. Some people find it rather silly. I thought it was very, very entertaining. I liked that film for whatever reason. I think the Sean Connery films were getting, I don't know, just grander. It's a huge, huge movie and very, very entertaining in my opinion. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, that's the only Bond film starring George Lazenby. A lot of people think that's a great Bond movie, and I can certainly see why. I thought it was very good overall. It's very long, and there are some silly things with Bond, so it's a little campy, a little bit campy, but a great score for this one. Fantastic main theme that they use a lot, and some great skiing sequences. And I have to say, this is one of the best looking Bond films on Blu-ray. It looks absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, watch it on Blu-ray. That's the way to go. Now we're starting with Roger Moore's Bond films. There we go. Last one of Sean Connery's first, Diamonds Are Forever. In my opinion, this is the worst of Sean Connery's films. I did not like this one bit. I thought it dragged on. That was the same old tired cliches, and it just did not entertain me at all. It does have a solid theme song though. Live and Let Die, the first one with Roger Moore, I thought that was quite good. You can definitely see that there's a new era of Bond here. Paul McCartney and Wings made the main theme. And here's one of the most beautiful Bond girls out of all of them. Alright, more with Roger Moore. He made 7 Bond films in total. No actor has played the part quite as much. Man with the Golden Gun, a lot of people don't like it. I enjoyed it a lot. Really, really like that movie. I love Christopher Lee, and I love a movie about guns and death and assassination. And I think it has the best Bond theme ever. It's my favorite Bond theme song made to date. I love that song. It is fantastic. Spy Who Loved Me. A lot of people really, really like that one. I didn't care for it that much, actually. I think it was okay. But, you know, Jaws and the whole Egyptian pyramid thing kind of overshadows the character of Bond, I thought. Then we have more with Roger Moore. Of course, more with more. Moonraker, this sort of sci-fi-esque Bond movie. Star Wars was getting so huge that they had to make sort of a sci-fi Bond movie. It's not too bad. I mean, it does go way, way overboard towards the end with special effects and stuff like that, but I thought it was actually pretty good. Pretty solid build-up anyway to that movie, so the first half is very solid. For Your Eyes Only is the first Roger Moore Bond film from the 80s, and it is my absolute favorite Roger Moore Bond film. I think it's fantastic. I love this movie. Great score by Bill Conti. I love the skiing sequences in particular, just fantastic stunts, very entertaining, great pace. I love this Bond girl. I can't say enough good things about For Your Eyes Only. I thought it was great. And that's the end of the first book. Here's the back of the first book. Let's have a look at the second book, 83 to 2012. Here we are wrapping up the Roger Moore films. He was getting quite old at this point. Roger Moore, I believe, was 45 when he made his first Bond movie. And when he made his final one, A View to a Kill, he was, I believe, 58 years old. That is pretty crazy. You don't want a Bond that's nearly 60 running around. Octopussy I thought was pretty good, actually. I like Maud Adams, she's Swedish. Maybe that's why I enjoy her. I don't know, it's silly. It's very, very silly in some scenes, but it had great vistas, very clever weapon, the sort of JoJo saw blade, which I liked. I liked Octopussy. I liked the idea of a strong, well, she's not really a villain, but I would like to see a strong Bond villain in one of these films. Let's move on to View to Kill. I did not like that one at all. It's usually the final films, for good reason, are the worst ones of each actor. And I actually think that's pretty much true all the way. I think Sean Connery's last Bond film's the worst. I think Roger Moore's last Bond film's the worst. And I think Pierce Brosnan's last Bond film is the worst. So there you go. The final one always sucks. And View to a Kill. I don't know. It has Christopher Walken. It has Grace Jones. It has a pretty good score, I thought. But I still just could not get into this movie for some reason. I just did not like it too much. Alright, Timothy Dalton. Dalton, a Welsh actor, played James Bond twice in the 80s, once in 87, once in 89. His first film, The Living Daylights, and his second one, License to Kill. I thought License to Kill was slightly better. I think Timothy Dalton was trying to get away from sort of the cliched Bond, no gadgets. He doesn't even wear the tuxedo for a lot of scenes. It's really more like a general... I think these are more sort of like your general thriller action movies. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but it doesn't quite... He never quite felt like Bond to me. Sorry to say, I do wish... I mean, I was hoping to really enjoy his films, but they were not quite up my alley. But they're pretty good. I mean, they're both watchable for sure. They're not horrible films, but in the pantheon of Bond films, I don't rank them very high, unfortunately. Then we have Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan was, to me, and for probably a lot of people in my generation, the first real Bond. I remember GoldenEye. I remember the Nintendo game, fantastic Nintendo 64 game, and I remember GoldenEye being the first Bond movie I ever saw, and that really cemented the role for me. In fact, I started with GoldenEye, then I moved on, and I had only seen Dr. No and Goldfinger up until right now. When I bought this box set, I bought it to catch up with all the other films, and I enjoyed quite a lot of them, but I enjoyed Roger Moore's more than Timothy Dalton's, I think. Anyway, GoldenEye, I think GoldenEye is fantastic. It's my second favorite Bond film of all time. It's absolutely incredible. I love the story, I love the way it's presented, I love the score, I love the theme, I love the beautiful, beautiful Bond girls in this movie. Just a fantastic movie. Both Pierce Brosnan and Sean Bean really knock it out of the park in this movie, and it's just a great, great Bond film. Tomorrow Never Dies, not quite as good, more sort of general action movie, but it's okay. I mean, it's you can throw it on and enjoy it. I like the setting. I like the fact that Bond finally teams up with a woman who's probably more skilled at fighting than he is. The final two Pierce Brosnan films, The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day. The World Is Not Enough I saw in theaters. I think The World Is Not Enough is not too great. It's a movie with a lot of potential. It's interesting, but I think it's more of your general sort of action movie. I really can't stand Denise Richards. She's terrible. And I think the plot should have been, it should have just been better. That's all I can say. Everything about that movie is promising, but I think it's kind of squandered. And I think it was Pierce Brosnan's movies were turning into your more general sort of action movies. They weren't quite as rich or deep or enjoyable at this point. And Die Another Day really proves that. It's one of the worst Bond movies in my opinion. Absolutely terrible. It's this sort of ultra modern, over CGI'd mess with lots of gadgets, and it just goes way over the top. Almost into science fiction territory, invisible cars and techno music and all that stuff. Just a terrible movie, in my opinion. And then we have Daniel Craig, our current James Bond. A lot of people were skeptical about him, but I think he is actually one of the best Bonds. All actors bring something different to the role, and they're all enjoyable to watch, and it's good that we have different actors playing Bond. So otherwise it would just grow stale so quickly. Casino Royale, watched this one last night. It's my all-time favorite Bond movie because it's so un-Bond-like. It challenges everything we know about Bond, starts fresh, it's modern, but it's based on Ian Fleming's novel. It's just a fantastic movie, absolutely fantastic. I love every aspect of Casino Royale, really. It is wonderful, amazing. Quantum of Solace, I'm going to watch this one soon, today actually. I haven't seen this one since it came out in theaters in 2008, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. I don't think it's quite as good. I think it's actually not that great, if I remember correctly. I thought there's a lot of action in it. It's got a great sort of pace to it, I guess, but it doesn't quite have that rich, rewarding story. But I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind about it when I watch it again. Here are all the men who played Bond so far, from left to right: Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. And there we go. Skyfall is in the set. I have the Skyfall Steelbook actually, but I decided to put this one in with the others. I wanted to see it next to all the rest. These disc housings are not the best, but I've actually seen much worse, and you will see much worse in the Star Trek box set. If you put it in properly, then there's this kind of flap here that sort of holds the disc in place. It's cumbersome to get it out. That's the only real downside. Skyfall, very good Bond film. One of the best ones. Not quite as good as Casino Royale, but very entertaining. It's a mixture of everything new and classical. Just a high-octane action movie with some surprises up its sleeve. It's always fun when a movie can take your preconceived notions and just give you some fun, rewarding, deep story-related surprises. And that's what Skyfall does. Very good movie. Finally, the bonus disc. Not worth your money, in my opinion. It's really just some short featurettes, not even music videos on this. It's totally terrible. The bulk of the extras are all spread across the movie discs themselves, so this bonus disc is not really too great, but I guess if you're a total hardcore Bond fan, then you can always check out the bonus disc as well. Okay, there we go. It kind of bothers me here that it's a total nitpick, I know, but there's no Bond girl here. Severine should have been next to the numbers there, but whatever. Let's have a look at the back of this one. There we go, all the modern Bond films. This one, another small pet peeve, I know, but it says coming 2013. Don't know why the hell they wrote that. I know if you buy it in 2012, then it's relevant, but it's already 2013. And if you plan to keep this box set for a long time, which hopefully I will be able to do, then that will always be there. So why the hell would you? Anyway, doesn't matter, I'm being nitpicky, but this is pretty cool, the 50th anniversary Bond logo. Okay, so that was the entire Bond 50 Blu-ray set. Now let's move on to the Star Trek set. Here's the Star Trek, the original series, the full Journey set. It's interesting that they call it the full journey and not the complete journey, but whatever. This is a very, very small box set. I mean, it's shorter than your average Blu-ray. The average Blu-ray is a little bit taller than this, so it's actually quite small, but it is wide, so I don't think you'll be able to fit it just anywhere. Pretty much the same thing all the way through. A little bit of information here. I bought this set in Scandinavia, but it is also available in the UK. I don't think it's available in America. However, it is region free if you buy it from the UK, so you can buy it no matter where you live in the world. There's this little cardboard lid that comes off here. And then you have all 3 seasons of the original series, 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, they are not very great. It's not a great way to store Blu-ray discs. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Let's have a look. Alright, I've taken them out. There's season 1, season 2, and season 3. Very, very nice artwork on these. I really like what they've done here. You can see the Enterprise here, orbiting what looks like Earth, but you can never be quite sure. Kirk and Spock there on the back. Quite nice. Have a look at season 2 as well. They are all in these sort of plasticky digi-case sort of packages. And they are not... They're probably actually the worst cases of Blu-ray packaging I've seen so far. Not because of the artwork or the way they're stylized, but simply because of the way they hold the discs, which you will see in a second. Let's open up season 1 and we'll have a look at that. Alright, check this out. Nice artwork here, continues on. Very nicely done. Here's the episode listing, all your episodes from season 1. Okay, there you go. Those are all the... And it's worth noting that these are in air date order. They're not in production order and not in star date order, which I thought was interesting. But they are in fact in air date order. I've never seen Star Trek, but I've decided to watch it in production order because that seems to be the way to go whenever you Google around. You've got the extras here, additional data for all the discs, and there are tons of extras. Great stuff. Picture-in-picture commentaries, behind the scenes stuff, preview trailers, audio commentaries, you name it. There's tons of very cool stuff on here. And it should be noted that you can choose to watch any episode here with the original or the remastered special effects, so it's totally up to you. And if you want to, you can even flip through them with your remote while you're watching the episode for comparison reasons. I think that's great. That's really awesome. I think I'll watch them with the new special effects, just for the fact that I'm not quite used to watching a 60s television series. And they've done the show justice. The new remastered effects are made to look like the classic 60s show. So I think that's actually pretty cool. It's a good thing sometimes that they can go in and just polish up some of the things that were not quite up to budget or up to standard at the time. But if you are a total Trekkie, if you're a purist, then of course you have the option of watching the original special effects, and that's fine too. That's just fine. Okay, here are the discs. Take a look at this. These pockets here are horrible way of storing Blu-ray discs. They don't even cover half the disc, and they certainly do not hold them in place. There's nothing to hold the discs in place. So when I opened these sets, 3 of the Blu-ray discs were loose, entirely loose. I mean, you just have to kind of wiggle them out and they will fall out of these little pockets. It's terrible. Truly not a good way to store Blu-ray discs. However, I did manage to squeeze them back into place. You kind of have to gently squeeze them back, just really give them a nice, tug, and they are pretty secure at this point, but still you can tell this is just not the way to house a Blu-ray disc. You can still get these individually. You can get season 1, 2, and 3 individually, but they are a lot more expensive grand total. I believe this single set cost me $120 or something like that, and I think if you're going to get all 3 single sets, then it's probably going to be $225, $230 or something like that for the exact same thing. But the bonus there is, I believe the discs there are much more properly stored. So if you're really, really, really concerned about your discs, then you may want to go for the single sets. Here's a nice little synopsis of season 1. I'll let you guys read that, just pause it right there. More discs here, grand total of 7 discs for season 1. Not crazy about the way these are stored, but I think if you really put them back where they were, they should be fine. Haven't seen any scratches, so I think they'll be okay, but you really have to be careful with this set. It's really not too great in that regard. Alright, season 2. Same thing here. Looks great on the outside. Some nice artwork. There's Kirk with the tribbles. Information about each individual episode, all the additional data, and there is tons of it. It's interesting. The Trouble with Tribbles gets its very own disc, which I find incredible. Tells you just how legendary that episode is. Look at all the extras. All these extras are just for The Trouble with Tribbles. There's even an episode of the animated series and an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Question is, to watch or not to watch? Go. They've done a magnificent job on these sets overall, and that's why I was compelled to begin with Star Trek now. Even though I've never seen it really before, I've seen only J.J. Abrams' first movie. These remasterings are so incredibly well made. They've just spent so much time and money on restoring and remastering these shows that I figured, well, if I'm gonna watch Star Trek properly, then now is really the perfect time. I'm sure they look and sound just phenomenal. And season 3 finally. Same dealio here. Except this one, when you fold it open, has the information on the right hand side. Don't think it has quite as many discs as seasons 1 and 2. Here's a very nice bonus. You get the cage, which is the original pilot. You get it in 2 different versions, a regular version and an extended version, and you get all these extras. So the cage gets its very own disc. It's a little strange that it's included on season 3 and not season 1, but I guess they just didn't want to have another disc probably for season 1 because there were already so many discs in that season. But so that's pretty awesome. I think I'll actually start with the cage, watch the pilot first, and do it properly in production order. Look at the colors here. Love those Starfleet uniforms there, just bursting with color. Okay, there we go. There are your discs. 6 discs for. It's actually 5 discs for season 3 and 1 disc for the cage, if you want to be really, really proper. There's the synopsis for season 3. Okay, that was the look at Star Trek the original series on Blu-ray, the full journey, not the complete journey. It's going to be a real pleasure to check this show out finally, and I can't wait. Again, if you are looking to pick these up, you may want to see if you can find a deal on the single Blu-ray sets, because they will hold your discs in place properly. But I think you should be able to buy this set as well and not worry too much. I don't think these Blu-rays are going to be scratched up. But as I said, they were loose when I got them, so that's not a good sign. Anyway, that was Star Trek the original series on Blu-ray. Let's have a look at the Tarantino set. This is the Tarantino 20 or Tarantino XX Blu-ray box set. Pretty amazing stuff we have here. The artwork for this set is just unparalleled. I don't think I've ever seen such an incredible, well, piece of artwork for any box set really. It's all custom. I'm not quite sure who the artist is. If I find out, I'll put a link in the description, but it's just marvelous. Got the title of the box set in gold here. Look at that. And Tarantino himself holding a camera in this fantastic Vexel kind of artwork. Great. Look at the background there. There's just so much detail. All these movie quotes. And you have the sticker with everything included in the box set. Over 8 hours of new special features on 2 discs. So look at the spine. Here's the back. And it originally came with a little note with all the information about the set, but I tend not to keep those, especially in this case. I mean, look at the artwork. That's what you really want to see. How many Tarantino details can you pick up on here? There are tons of them from all of his movies almost. So this is every movie Tarantino has ever directed except for Django Unchained, and they even included True Romance in here, which he didn't even direct, he just wrote it. But it's fantastic because that's a great movie as well. So this set really couldn't be much better. There's one thing, if you want to talk about poor packaging, that really bugs me about this set. That's the way you open it. I wish you could open up a flap or open up the side, or I wish it would slide out from the side here. That would have been perfect. But it doesn't. It slides out from underneath. So you lift up the box like that. Looks pretty cool when I'm doing it now, right? But imagine trying to pick this set up and whoops, every time you try to pick it up, this falls out. Not great. I think they should have done this a little differently. But nevertheless, let's have a look inside. This is a huge digipack with absolutely extraordinary artwork all the way through. Here's Jules, Vincent, and Mia from Pulp Fiction, of course. Look at that artwork. That is just extraordinary. And this is just a part of it. Let's fold it out. See what we got there. The Bride from Kill Bill. The lovely Uma Thurman. There's Zed from Pulp Fiction. Oren Ishii from Kill Bill. There's Zoe Bell on The Car and Death Proof. Jackie Brown. Look at all the quotes and all the, just the sheer amount of detail here. Here we go, from Kill Bill and Inglourious Bastards. There we go, there's Aldo Rain, played beautifully by Brad Pitt, with Nazi blood on his blade. Okay, and there we go. We managed to unfold the entire thing, and it is quite impressive and extensive. Every single word you see here is Tarantino dialogue. All of it is from his wonderful scripts. He's world renowned for his incredible dialogue. There's Reservoir Dogs, his first film. As you can see, these are all Region B locked, but I do believe the set is available in America as well. True Romance, again, he didn't direct it, but it's a fantastic movie, and I'm so glad to have it. Pulp Fiction, absolute masterpiece. I believe that's actually a syringe. Yeah, syringe gun. I think it's probably Vincent shooting up. Jackie Brown. Again, look at just the sheer amount of detail in the background. How many quotes can you pick up? Kill Bill Volume 1. This is nicely done, I think. Here's the death list the bride's death list, of course, and when you get down to Kill Bill Volume 2, it's splattered with blood, and all the people she's killed in the first movie are gone from the list. Death Proof, very nice. Of course, you only get Death Proof, you don't get Planet Terror in this one, because that's a Rodriguez movie. May be compelled to pick up Planet Terror now too. That's the hood ornament, looks like a duck. Inglourious Bastards. There you go, there's the Bear Juice baseball bat, I think. Bonus disc number 1, Red Apples, his famous cigarette brand that's used in almost all of his movies. And bonus disc 2. Interestingly enough, the bonus discs appear to be region free. Of course, you have feet on bonus disc 2. I think that's a shot from Death Proof, probably. Let's turn this over and have a look at the incredible artwork on the other side. Okay, look at this. I'm not gonna try to take you through the entire expansive and incredibly detailed and well made piece of artwork. What is that here? And there we go. Isn't this one of the most incredible box sets ever produced? In my opinion, it sure is. I don't think this could have been done much better. You'll have to buy Django Unchained separately, of course, but I think this is fantastic. And I'm so glad when they actually hire someone, a talented artist, to do a job like this. What a mammoth job this must have been. Not sure if it's one person or several people behind this, but it is fantastic. Just a true love letter to all things Tarantino. I love his movies. I think they're fantastic. I think it's so great that a format like Blu-ray is really taken seriously. It's really the first time now that they're trying to do these definitive editions of movies, and they are including everything possible. And they put it out in a box set such as this. That's what I love about Blu-rays. I love definitive box sets, and this is pretty definitive. Again, you'll have to buy Django Unchained on your own, but that is just fine. Incredible, incredible stuff. And I'm very glad to see that both True Romance and Jackie Brown are included here. Jackie Brown was directed by Tarantino, but it's not considered to be one of his greatest films. It really sticks out in the canon of Tarantino movies, but I think that's why it's worth giving it a second chance. I'll probably watch it again and see if I enjoy it more this time around. There you go, that was the Tarantino XX 20 box set with all his films directed up to and including Inglourious Bastards. Thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun checking out all these box sets. I might be gone for some time now. I'm not quite sure when I'll be back. Maybe I will share the Evil Dead 2013 Steelbook with you guys. So, hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care.